Hey y'all, it's Anime K-Man, and today I am going to be reviewing episode 4 of Sarazanmai. And I gotta say, this episode was pretty darn lit. And let me mention why. It finally did a good job, at the very least, from my perspective, making Kuju into a likable character. Because in the previous episodes, he was rough, and I was thinking part of the ways, man, this guy's a cocky asshole, wanting all these dishes of hope. And then this episode, and I'm like, okay, I understand now. I understand. And you know what? I really like it. How this episode also has a message of, you really can't judge a book by its cover until you really start to understand the person more. And then you're like, okay, I can see where it's coming from. Because I like how this episode demonstrated that pretty much for Koji to survive, he had to do some rough shit. Because for one, his parents, it was implied that they were driven to suicide or they were possibly killed because they were caught into going into these big debts that put him into a shitty ass financial situation, which led to their deaths. And then it was the brother of Kuji who had to step it up, but he stole some money from this mobster. And then the livelihood of Kuji and his brother were threatened. And then it ended up in a situation where Kuji had to shoot this gangster in order to protect his brother. And you know what? I really love this sequence because now it shows you why Kuji's so cold and he's able to say shit like, if you fuck with me or you do this, I'll kill you. Because Kuji as a kid was willing to pull a trigger. Well, it was just justifiable though, because this man was would have killed him and his brother. But it shows if he was willing to pull the trigger as a kid, then naturally as a teenager, of course it'd be much more easier for him to kill someone. So I like it. It gives Kuji a lot of characterization, and that's what I thought was amazing about this episode. Now we can truly say we got a good grasp of all the three main casts in this anime. And we're only 4 episodes in, so I love that shit. So that's why I thought I did a substantial from the character standpoint. And we find out more about Kuji's brother too. It was kind of a hard ass. But it was for a reason, because he had to take care of himself and his brother. And even though it wasn't of the proper ways, when you see his philosophy of only the strong can survive, and then you see in these episodes that they kind of had to be strong to survive, it's like, okay, even though we all know might doesn't necessarily make right, in certain in all situations, in some situations it does. So I like how that explains why Kuji's personality is kind of fucked up in a way. I mean, it's understandable with all the circumstances around him. And now we understand more about Kuji's brother too. And that's what I really thought made this episode really, really good. Because it showed him he was kind of a hard ass, but it showed his soft side when he's all wanting, like when he finishes off killing the guy that Kuji shot so that the blood would be on his hands and his conscience and not Kuji's conscience. That was also a sweet sequence too in the episode. And that's what I thought really made this episode powerful. Hell, it was even cool how they even kind of made the Kazuki kind of like that character for a sec. The audience character when he wants to give the dish of hope. That dish to Kuji. I thought that was a really beautiful scene. I was like, damn. So that's why I thought I did great from a character standpoint. And same with with Kazuki, because this opened up a new layer when he's all like, he hates Haruka, and I'm like, wait, what? That blew my mind too. And I thought that also made the episode great. And who knows? Because there were some context clues as to why he might say that. For all we know, maybe he's getting jealous that maybe Haruka's spending time with Ensa because he kind of did have a shifty look earlier in the episode, or it could be something else completely unrelated to all this shit. I honestly have no clue. But that was also another interesting thing about this episode. It made you look at Kazuki and it made you feel like, yeah, shit ain't so simple anymore like I thought it would be. So that was also what made this episode work from a character standpoint. And also like how at the very least, the two cops, at least one of them wants to actually confront the main crew directly, which hopefully it happens soon, I hope. At least they're building up towards that. And then from a story standpoint, I'd say that was the only thing that was a slight weakness in this episode, because while The Kuji flashbacks were nice. I felt that this episode, you really noticed the animation usage, like when the two cops did the dance, it dragged out for like 2 minutes. And then when the three boys like do their thing like this, I kind of wish sometimes they wouldn't show that animation because it's literally a minute. If they can just skip to everyone sharing the memories, literally they could save 3 minutes of the episode and give it towards more characterization, more flashbacks. It just feels at times, it kind of drags when it does that kind of shit. So that was the only weakness about this episode from a story standpoint. Kind of felt draggy at times, but the Kuji flashbacks were nice at the very least. I love them. Love those sequences. And at the same time, it did give me some laughs, like when Kazuki was trying to think of fucking plans to kidnap Sada temporarily so that he can pretend he's Sada when it's like the fan meet and greet. So this episode did have some nice jokes, and at the very least it's building towards some interesting conflict with the cops possibly getting involved. So that's why I thought it was pretty nice from a story standpoint overall. Just there was a few weaknesses here and there with the animation footage. Hopefully the future episodes don't go through this. But it's just something I cannot ignore when making episode reviews because, well, this is like episode 4. It's literally gone through this like 4 times. So, yeah, it's just something I can't ignore as a reviewer. But I still enjoy this episode overall, though. And the art animation were lit as always. Gotta say. Gotta give my respects to the animation staff. And taking all these factors in consideration, I'm going to rate this episode a 9 out of 10. It was a strong episode. I loved it. Only thing keeping it from a 10 out of 10 is the extreme amounts of animation reusage. But I still love the episode overall. And I cannot wait for more. So anyways, guys and gals, these are my thoughts on Sarazanmai episode 4. Comment down your thoughts on the episode in the comments section below. Rate the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later if you subscribe for more. Alright, thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.